I think parents really need to start with checking in to see what their children know. And really for school-age kids, they really are exposed to media and sometimes the news, so it's important to just sit down with your child and ask them what they know about the events that happened in California.
And then where do you go from there? Because there's a wide range of things that kids are going to know, and I'm sure it depends on the age of your child.
Absolutely. So the younger, for very young children that probably don't know much, it's best to protect and shield them from what's going on. But for school-age children and adolescents, you want to check in to see what facts they know. And sometimes kids don't necessarily have the accurate facts, or they have information that's not really helpful to them and can be scary to them. So as a parent, you want to check in and correct those misunderstandings or misconceptions in an age-appropriate way.
How do you go about this conversation?
So you can let them know that this really bad thing happened, but I think a way to help them feel less scared or less anxious is to point out some of the good things that happened after the event. So, for example, all of the police helpers and the first responders who went in and helped the wounded and helped people escape and led people to safety. That can really be comforting for children.
And I think one of the other things that will often pop up for kids in a situation like this is, well, this happened to somebody else's mom or dad at work. Could this happen to you, my mom or my dad, when you go to work?
Right. So kids are probably wondering, is this likely to happen to you as my mom or my dad? And what we can say is there's people out there helping us keep us safe. It's a great time to talk about things like safety planning so that at work and at home, we make safety plans where we can respond. If something bad does happen, mommy or daddy knows what to do. And there's people at work to help us know what to do and help keep us safe.
Is there a certain age when it is appropriate to allow kids to watch the news and see what's going on and kind of be a part of this crazy world we live in?
That's a great question. So particularly for teenagers, we know that they're getting exposed to what's happening with things like Facebook and Twitter and social media. Teenagers know what's going on. So a great tip is to sit down with your teenager and see what they're being exposed to. Watch the news with them, listen to the radio with them, check out their Facebook page. And that way you can have an interactive conversation with them about what's going on and maybe help ease some of their worries.
How about for the much younger kids? Say they do happen to see the news. You're watching the news, you don't realize they're in the room, you look over and they're staring at the television and seeing some things that you were trying to protect them from. What do you do in that situation?
So turn off the news and go sit down, get to their level, let them know, ask them, so what did you just see? What did you just think about that? How are you feeling about that? And let them know that mommy, daddy, grandma, grandpa, whoever are here to keep them safe, and that while bad things do happen in this world, it's your job, it's my job as a parent to keep you safe. And for those really young kids, it's really important to know that they do notice those things. So even if you think that they're off to the side playing, turn off the TV, turn off the radio for those very young children because they do pick up on things.
And you brought down a couple books. Just tell me a little bit about those books, if those are tools that you think parents should invest in.
Absolutely. So especially for younger kids, to start off these difficult conversations, it can be tough as parents to do that. So books are a really great way to do that. So we have a book called A Terrible Thing Happened, and it follows the story of a raccoon that had a terrible thing happen to him. And it actually doesn't even name the terrible thing, but it's a way to engage kids in those conversations when bad things happen. So it's great. You can find resources at your library, online. I would really encourage parents to invest in them.
Are there certain signs and symptoms that you should be looking for to see if your child is reacting to a trauma or watching something on the news that you didn't realize maybe that they even were noticing?
Absolutely. So for most kids who are, let's say, who are exposed to the situation that happened in California, it's normal for them to feel a little anxious, to feel confused or angry about it, but most kids, that'll go away in a couple weeks. If those things don't go away, those symptoms like sleeplessness, nightmares, feeling anxious, sad, or isolating themselves, that's when you really want to reach out and talk to your pediatrician or call a mental health agency like here at Family Service and talk to someone to get a little more information, to check in to see if your child needs additional help. Although we're now living in a world that this seems to be happening over and over again, we as adults and parents and caretakers, if we spend the extra time, can really help kids get through this.